coverage of the Guaranteed Rate Elite at Pickwick Lake is sponsored by Rapala.
A very, very rare Championship Tuesday, and welcome back to our on-location coverage here in beautiful Alabama, at the top half of the state, on beautiful Pickwick Lake, an historic area here in Florence, Alabama. And man, lots of changes here this week, and the changes continue as the weather starts to move into this area. And let's look at our Toyota midday report. At the start of the day today, Chad Pipkins was our co-leader as he searches down his first Elite Series win and seemed pretty calm and ready to do battle at the dock this morning, Davey.
He really did, was ready to go and have a chance to win his first Bassmaster Elite Series tournament. Tied for the lead, and he's been fishing one location all week, but today things are very different.
Well, Chad Pipkins did a penguin walk on the dock, but let's look at the turtle, Bill Lowen. He has led this, but man, his bite, and he's talked about it, is kind of moving away from him, not just the bite, but literally the water that the fish lived in.
Yeah, absolutely. The water has fallen a lot for Bill Lowen. I looked at the generation forecast last night, and I thought, ooh, that's not good for Bill. The one thing he mentioned this morning is, I hope the water doesn't fall. That's one thing could hurt me. And I didn't say, have you seen the generation schedule? Because it's certainly supposed to. I didn't want to be negative, but that is not what Bill Lowen needed.
Making his very first top 10 here on the Bassmaster Elite Series, and an incredibly consistent young pro. Tyler Rivette, happy to have him here.
Yeah, he's won the numbers game. Between him and Hank Cherry, they have caught a lot of fish. Maybe Tyler caught more, 20, 30 bass a day all week long.
Well, let's throw in a Bassmaster Classic champ, not just any, but our reigning and defending Classic champion, Hank Cherry.
Yeah, Hank Cherry is one of the few anglers that has been able to fish one spot all week long, basically with the crankbaits, and just fish after fish after fish. He's quietly gotten to Championship Tuesday with the crankbait. Said he found these fish in practice with a jerk bait, but you can see there DT6, DT10 has been getting it done, 20, 30 fish a day. He said a whole school of fish have been there since practice. One of the few people, like I said, except Chad Pipkins, that got on these fish when the water level was low, was able to catch them during the event when the water is high, and was able to keep catching them today when the water has fallen back to about half the mid-range depth, I guess, between the first day of practice and the crest.
And just like Tyler Rivette, I mean, if this was a numbers game, I mean, they'd be walking away with it, but it's not a numbers game. It's all about the 5 biggest fish, 20 biggest fish over 4 days, and a guy that's trying to become the second Canadian in a row to win an Elite Series title and shade that one title that he wants. I mean, he doesn't want to be the only Canadian not to win an Elite Series title.
Well, I'm sure he's thinking about that today, and it certainly has a great chance today. Boy, this dock has saved him. Offshore, where he caught a lot of that 25 pounds yesterday, and he caught him in a hurry. A lot of us expected for that to happen again today. It did not, but thankfully for Corey, he had this dock to go back to. Fishing a jig under his dock, and just a whole school of bass under one dock has been a savior for Corey Johnson. He's certainly got a chance to win his first event today.
Said he had a very, very special dock, and you know, anglers say those things to you, and you kind of underestimate it. But watching this footage, I was like, yeah, that's a little more than special right there.
Yeah, that's certainly a special dock. And to be able to, I'm assuming that he saved it in case the wheels came off on the final day, and that has happened. And it could prove to be victory for Corey Johnson. The weights up top are so close, it's too hard to estimate. They're so close. Corey Johnson is doing a great job.
He's been quiet all week, but big moves for Brock Mosley here on Championship Tuesday.
So I was able to talk to Brock this morning quite a bit, and he said, hey, I'm going to go start up on the horseshoe this morning. I was like, wow, I haven't seen you there. He said, no, I haven't been there. I didn't like the crowds. I fished there. I know where those fish get. I'm going to go give it a shot because I've had a slow start every morning, but he's been able to catch good limits of smallmouth up in the day. So Brock Mosley with a beautiful fish there, a big one right out of the gate this morning. You can see the sun was just coming up. Brock Mosley way ahead of where he has been, and he's been able to catch 4.5 pound smallmouth in the afternoon all week. I expect to see some more of that today, so look out for Brock Mosley.
A big Championship Tuesday for Brock Mosley. And as I said, quiet all weekend. And And what I mean is he's just kind of laid in the weeds. You know, he's been in contention since day number one, but he hasn't been one of those guys that has stood out and everybody has pointed at, is it Brock Mosley's time? But if you look at our leaderboard when they left the dock this morning, man, a lot of guys searching down that first title, and Brock Mosley, Corey Johnson in that group. Hank Cherry not searching his first title. His first elite, though, Tyler Rivette, Bill Lowen, Brian Schmidt, and Brandon Palnick in 7th place. I mean, he's obviously not searching his first title, but you look at all those first-time guys, Chad Pipkins. I mean, it's amazing. You look at this top 10.
It really is, and this tournament is far from over. We saw yesterday, well, we've seen every day, the afternoon, a lot of changes in the standings, and I think we'll see some more of that this afternoon. You see every angler still technically in contention. Even Chad Pipkins, that has fallen from co-leader to 8th place. He's got a lot of room to grow.
Let's go live and join Corey Johnston.
Yeah. There you go. 3 and changer.
That fish right there, I'm going to say unofficially puts him in the lead. At one boat dock has been magic for Corey Johnson this morning.
And just like that, Canadians are storming the border. How is this possible? How is it possible that the first time in history the Canadian border closes and we could potentially have our 3rd Canadian champion during that time? Corey Johnston trying to chase down the other 2 crazy Canucks that have already put their hands on that Elite Series title. Of course, his brother last year and Jeff Gustafson at our very last event. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you can see the expression on Corey's face there. He knows that fish could make the difference for him. Wow. One boat dock, a whole school of fish holding. And, you know, you say, well, if the sun had been shining all these other days, the fish would be under those boat docks, and now cloudy and rainy, and he's catching them really, really well. Those fish are just living there. They're using it as a staging area to move, once that water warms up, to move in and spawn.
One of the things that Brock Mosley said is when the weather gets worse here, they bite better, he believes. Why is that?
Oh, I think, you know, we got a south wind today, basically all day. Last night, the temperatures didn't get low. It's warmer, and then this front coming in, a low pressure, it's just a perfect recipe for fish to bite better in most places. The big changer is when we're up north, those bluebird skies, those smallmouth love to feed on those days, but largemouth and even the smallmouth down here feed really well when we have these conditions.
Looking at Bill Lowen and Corey Johnston right now, and to the naked eye, you know, we're saying, well, Bill Lowen's bite might be getting away from him, but to the naked eye, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, look, what is the difference? Why are these anglers having 2 totally different results today?
Well, obviously Corey's got a magic dock, but by magic, it's just a dock that is not necessarily, a lot of times these fish that like Bill Lowen has been catching around these boat docks, those fish are moving up there to spawn around those dock pilings. This group of fish here, it's a total different scenario. That's a group of fish that are actually pre-spawn fish staging to move somewhere else and spawn. Bill has moved to the steeper banks, which is a great idea, but Corey is, you know, that's got to be deep water close to that dock that Corey's fishing.
Is it all just the water drop, or is it also maybe the water clearing a little bit? You know, a lot of times that dirty water will push those fish tighter.
It's both. It's both. You're right. Bill Lowen was saying that his area had dirtied up because of the wind direction had made the shoreline dirty.
Let's head out off the bank and join Brandon Palnick live.
We got the weather change we were talking about. I think the rain is here to stay for a while. I'm just gonna buzz down here and holler at Chad real quick, and then I think we're gonna roll. I just want to let him know I caught a couple on this outside in case he needs it. But
Over to Steve Kennedy.
Hello. I've only got one. I mean, he's almost a 4-pounder, but no, I made the rounds on all my key stuff and didn't even get a good bite. And we came by here earlier on the tail end of this island and caught a big striper. Had a couple of bites on a big swim bait, so we came running back up here to see if we could figure out how to party.
A little choppy service there, but man, these anglers, a lot of time left in the day, but it's amazing the eclectic group of anglers we have here in our top 10 joining Hank Cherry right now. But an interesting exchange this morning on the dock with Corey and Chad Pipkins. Chad showed up in what he referred to as coral pants, and Corey found that quite humorous. I believe the rain suit that Corey is wearing is the brightest color that Corey owns in his closet.
So Steve Kennedy, it's surprising that he hasn't done any better this morning. He has. When I was out on the water earlier, saw him lose a few fish, catch that monster striper, but you see he's downsized a spinning rod in his hand. Things could get going for him there this morning. Hank Cherry throwing a swim bait here.
I think that's just trying to get a bigger bite or just cycling through bait. I mean,
yeah, giving them something
numbers.
different to look at. It's really incredible the way he and Chad Pipkins, although things aren't going well so far for Chad on that one location, but Hank Cherry is, and Tyler Rivette also, they have caught probably between 75 and 100 bass off one location. Basically, Hank Cherry said his, it's about a 5-foot area where he has caught so many of these fish, making the same cast.
Let's join Brian Schmidt hooked up live.
That'll be his limit. He's got 4 in the live well right now.
And I'm going to tell you, do not judge this guy's career on last year in the Elite Series. He said, man, it was just a nightmare. Started early and continued the whole season long. But if you look at his track record, an incredible tournament record.
That's his 5th keeper.
And he was a guy that a lot of people talked about, coming into this event, fantasy fishing-wise. But they thought of it a much different event, him punching grass and that sort of thing. Fishing very different than he may have expected, but definitely a great performance for Brian Schmidt. Has a Bassmaster Open win to his resume and actually has the title for the most Toyota Series wins ever.
It's incredible. Looks like he's throwing a jerkbait, which is we've not seen much of this week. Water clarity having a lot to do with that.
The one lure everybody expects to see Hank Cherry throwing, and he's not.
Yes.
Let's join our co-leader coming in today, Bill Lowen, an 11-time Classic qualifier.
Wow. Just hasn't had those big bites yet today. That'll help, though. Another keeper for him.
Yes, sir. Bag of peanuts. Working on a bag of peanuts.
So you see he's transitioning to these docks. This one has a blowdown right beside it. A perfect looking scenario there for Bill, his fourth keeper.
Well, let's look back at his fourth keeper for Dollar Bill Lowen. That fish, a key fish for Bill Lowen, but I'm going to tell you one thing. One thing's guaranteed at the Guaranteed Rate Bassmaster Elite. This is not going to go sleepy. I mean, it's going to be a lot of changes going down, and we're going to follow him on location at Bass Live.
Check out this one. Check out this one. Long hair, loves to hike and plays frisbee.
What is he, a Labrador?
So should I meet him?
You're not that adventurous.
Yes, I am. Try me.
Okay. Jump into that lake.
I'll do it.
Let's all do it. I'm in. This is crazy. You coming?
Seriously? It is way too comfortable in here.
This is freezing.
The all-new Sienna. Toyota, let's go places.
The season is underway, and it's time for you to bring it. Pit your knowledge against friends and fans everywhere in Rapala Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing. It's free, and it starts by signing up. Then pick your 5-angler team for each event. The grand prize winner gets a Bass Pro Shop shopping spree, cash, and Rapala prize pack. Total value $20,000. Plus new opportunities including $4,000 worth of prizes for each individual event winner. Plus another $500 if you're a Bass member. Sign up today and start bringing it at BassmasterFantasy.com.
At Phoenix Boats, our passion for fishing is obvious. Whether it's a pro event or fishing with our family and friends,
we truly love the sport of fishing.
That's why our goal is to make every single Phoenix boat that goes out the door the best fishing platform it can be in both design and construction.
We love to fish as much as anyone, and we believe it shows in every boat we build.
Phoenix Boats, built by anglers for anglers.
Blue Water by TH Marine, offering LED lighting solutions for your boat, trailer, truck, ATV, and so much more. Engineered and built to be rugged with waterproof and submersible options. Designed for easy installation, Blue Water is available in a variety of colors and styles. All backed by a limited lifetime warranty. Blue Water by TH Marine.
You know, a fishing rod is a lot like a magic wand. It connects you to a world you can't see, but you know it's there. You can just feel it. Every time you cast, your hands remember the anticipation, knowing at any moment something spectacular could happen. So we keep casting and keep believing. Mossy Oak, made for moments like this.
Our extended stay here allowed me to enjoy one of the greatest historic, an amazing hidden jewel here in Muscle Shoals, and that is the Muscle Shoals Sound Studio, home of the Swampers. You know the line from the Lynyrd Skynyrd song, Muscle Shoals has the Swampers? Well, the Swampers were 4 incredible individuals that literally had more gold records than the Beatles. If that doesn't impress you, I don't know what will. They recorded with Bob Seger, the Rolling Stones, Willie Nelson, Aretha Franklin, Wilson Pickett, Cher. The names go on and on. Amazing studio, and you get the opportunity to go and tour that and look back. I mean, the actual piano that Freebird was written on and first performed on resides right here in Florence, Alabama, just outside of Florence, in Muscle Shoals, at Muscle Shoals Sound Studio, something that everybody has to see. But let's check in on my Canadian brethren, Corey Johnston.
Corey currently in the lead unofficially with that last good fish under this same dock. Made about 15, I think, that he's caught from this one boat dock.
From this day forward to be referred to as the most popular dock on the lake.
My main deal has changed, and you would think it would get better. It's a little point with a little bit of water right outside a spawning pocket, and all the water in the spawning pocket now is too shallow, so you think I don't even think that's a fish.
So I was running around on the water earlier today, but our friend Ronnie Moore reminded me, or informed me, I guess, that Brian Smith lost a 6-pounder trying to boat flip it earlier today, and he's currently in 6th place without that fish.
Well, Brian kind of owes one to Corey, to be honest here. I'll get you a little insider scoop on this. Earlier this year, Brian set that record for the Toyota Series, was not going to fish that event until Corey and Chris said, hey, we're going to go down there, fish an event early, knock the rust off, and Brian won that event. So,
wow. Corey's hooked up. Or another. Ooh. Don't know if that'll help him. His smallest one is not very small.
Just not eating good. Like, I missed so many of these things.
Yes, it does help.
Padding that lead a little more.
Oh, Nancy.
Bill Lowen?
Oh, baby, stay on. Please stay on. Oh, my gosh. Please stay on. Please. Come here. Come here. Come here. Yeah! Woo! Look at the size of that one! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Denny Brower sent me a message last night and told me to catch him a 7-pounder on a black and blue jig. Oh my gosh! Look at the size of that thing! Woo! Oh my gosh! Holy moly! Oh, look at that! Oh my gosh. Oh. I don't know, it's big. It is big. Folks at home, it's giant. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I was just thinking, just in my head, I'm flipping docks with a black and blue jig, and I'm thinking about Denny telling me that last night. He sends me a message. You know, me and Denny Brower are really good friends, and we were practice partners before he retired, and he sends me messages all the time when I'm doing well, and he's like, buddy, go out there and catch me a 7-pounder on a black and blue jig. And I think it's bigger than a 7. It might be close to a 10. All I know, buddy, is it's a big one, and that's number 5. Oh, my goodness. I don't know how big it is. We're gonna have to weigh it, find out. Oh my goodness. Thank you, buddy. Oh, look at this. I left that out. Guess we ain't gonna be putting that back on, are we? You know what? It don't matter how big it is. Let's just keep fishing. Let's just keep fishing. So I got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, make sure I got what I got. No reason to be dumb right now. Three, four, five. Oh my goodness, right now. I seen her come up and I was like, oh my Lord. She's freaking giant, please stay on. Woo! Thank God for 20-pound B.A.S.S. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh my goodness.
Wow. That's a game changer there, and he knows it. He knows it.
Just because, you know?
The flipping power of Denny Brower still felt here on the Elite Series. Wow, he led day one of this event when you won a decade ago. His roommate, Bill Lowen, just when everybody is probably starting to count Bill Lowen out. Wow, black and blue jig strikes again.
Amazing, amazing. And they were rooming at the time that Denny led here the first day, a decade ago.
My heart's about
a lot of things going on in Bill Lowen's head right now.
All right. Do what?
You think his wife just screamed?
I
saw that?
I was just about to... Weigh-in's hours away, but I'm pretty sure I heard Team scream when he set the hook there. Wow. We got to look at that one more time, Davey. Unbelievable. Big bass, big stage, big dreams, and big fish is what it's all about for Dollar Bill. On Championship Tuesday, can it finally be his time? An 11-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier, a perennial door knocker. And man, he just kicked the door open with potentially the biggest bass of the tournament here on Championship Tuesday at the guaranteed rate Bassmaster Elite Pickwick Lake.